Good morning, student. Today I'm going to talk about aqueous humor and vitreous humor. In last class, we have read about anterior chamber and its anatomical structure. Now, today we're going to talk about what? Aqueous humor, which is the content of anterior chamber. Along with that, we're going to talk about, or we're going to study about vitreous humor also. I'm coming later on that. First, we talk about aqueous humor. The aqueous humor is a thin, watery fluid that fills the space between cornea and the iris. Yes, we read this is already our last class. The location of anterior chamber where the aqueous humor is present. So it's backside of the cornea and backside of the cornea. This is the anterior chamber and fills with the aqueous humor. This is water in water color, and the backside, the front of the lens, iris, and ciliary area. It is continually produced by the ciliary body, the part of the eye that is lie just behind the iris. So, where it comes from, the aqueous humor actually it produces by ciliary body. More precisely, you want to tell the ciliary process that produces the aqueous humor, which is part of the our uvea. We have already read anatomy of uvea. This fluid nourishes the cornea and the lens and gives the front of the eye its form and shape. So, three things they are telling me. First, they nourish the cornea and the lens. So, food supply or metabolic requirement are supplied by the aqueous to whom? Cornea and the lens. First. Second, they are telling the shape of the cornea or eye. We say definitely this one we can see from the outside, the round shape or sphere you can say. That one is shapes due to the this obviously anterior chamber, and anterior fills with the what? Aqueous humor. So if we take out the aqueous humor, it will collapse like a football. If we take out the air from the football, it is going to collapse. So same thing over here happened. So that's why they tell it maintain the shape of the eye. That is very correct. Basically, maintain the shape of the cornea. Coming to the functions of the aqueous humor, they maintain the intraocular pressure, eye pressure, commonly known as eye pressure. So this anterior chamber, sorry, aqueous maintain the intraocular pressure, which is very very important. We can later on that. Provides the nutrition. Already talked about it. Basically, amino acid and glucose from where? From the aqueous humor. Who gets that? Cornea and lens. Carries the waste product. Yes, definitely. They take all the metabolic waste product. Serve to transport ascorbate in the anterior segment, act as an antioxidant. So ascorbate also they transport over there and which act as an antioxidant. Presence of immunoglobulin indicate the role of immune response to defend against pathomechanism or pathogens. So that is also important because the in aqueous humor the immunoglobulins are present which act as an immune response agent and which act against the pathogens. Any bacterial, viral, any kind of activity in the aqueous, they defend it. Coming to the most important part of the aqueous humor, that is composition. We say already say liquid, thin, watery substances, colorless substances, 100% that is. So what are the contents on that or compositions on that? The fluid is essentially same as the blood plasma, although with a less protein. They said that almost the composition is same as like our blood plasma, but only thing is proteins are less. Let's see the contents over there. 99% water is there. So remaining what? 1% and the rest of the things are there. In remaining 1%, we have ions, buffers metabolic acids, preserves electric neutrally, sodium, potassium, and so many ions are present over there. Proteins also there, albumins and beta globulins, ascorbate, antioxidative and protects against the UV rays. So that also present over there. Glucose is there, lactate, the produced by the metabolism of anaerobic structure of the eye. So end product of anaerobic metabolic activity, that is lactate. That also present in aquation. Amino acid also is present, which is transported from the ciliary epithelial cells. Now coming to the flow of the aqueous humor. Definitely it originated from somewhere and it has to go out because it's continuous, they're producing. If you do not have any drainage system, then what happens? Definitely going to burst it. Let's say, for example, football. You are giving the air over there, there. One time, what happened? The bladder is going to burst. So same over here. So, but here, another drainage system is there. So when this produces from the ciliary process of ciliary body and go to the anterior backside of the anterior chamber, and through the pupil it goes out to the front part of the anterior chamber and then goes out through the trabecular meshwork, and then Sillens, canal of Sillens, then aqueous vein, then episcleral vein, and then go from the eye. So this is the common process of the or common flow of the aqueous vein. Okay, but here two things are there. We see, we have seen that this ciliary process is producing the aqueous humor. Okay, good, and this is drainage. If there is a drainage problem over there, let's say blockage over there, by due to some due to some disease or developmental issue, the blockage is over here. Okay, the blockage is over here. So what happens then? Production is still going on. So definitely it's going to, because size is fixed. So definitely you're going to put pressure on iris, lens, and the point. So there they're going to increase the pressure. That I, because we know that IOP is maintained over here only. So definitely they're going to increase the eye pressure. Another thing, what happens? The drainage system is good, okay, but production is quite high. So what happens? Again, the same issue over here, because the limitation is there of the drainage system. So the main is increase the pressure over here. So that is also there, but usually is controlled. Disorder. What I told that because of this one. Glaucoma is a condition characterized by increase in intraocular pressure, either though the increase in production or decrease in the outflow of aqueous. That's why I explained it. Because either the intraocular pressure maintained due to the production rate and drainage rate are fixed. So there is a maintain or equilibrium of aqueous within the anterior chamber. But is there any problem with either drainage system or production that can cause problems in the IOP? And if there is a problem in the IOP, intraocular pressure or eye pressure, that can cause glaucoma, and which is a sight-threatening disease. Coming to the vitreous now, vitreous is another bigger chamber which is present in the posterior side of the lens and in front of the retina. So see, this is the anterior chamber we did in the field of aqueous humor. Now we come into the posterior bigger chamber. See, very big chamber present at posterior side, just behind the lens, crystalline lens, and in front of the retina. There's a huge areas there that is called vitreous, which is filled with vitreous humor. The vitreous humor is a clear gel that fills the space between lens and retina in the eyeball of human and any invertebrates. The vitreous is transparent, colorless, jelly-like substances fill the space between the lens and the retina. Back of that. It is produced by the certain retinal cells. So remember that is where question comes over there. It contains very few cells, mostly phagocytic cells, and one vitreous cells, that is hyalurocytes ballates, which produces the hyaluronic acids. But they do not have any blood vessels over there. 99% of vitreous contains the water. Remaining 1% they have salt, sugar, innate of collagen fibril, mucopolysaccharide, hyaluronic acid. Rest of the things are there. The collagen fibers of the vitreous are held upward by the electric charges. So as I said, there's remaining 1%, they have some collagen fibrils. So one to another is upward by the electric charges. With aging, these charges tend to reduce and the fibers may clamp together. So the space are quite maintained between two fibers by the electrical charges. When it reduces by the age, they clamp together. Similarly, the gel may liquefy, a condition known as synersis, allowing the cells and other organic substances clustered to float freely within the vitreous film. This allows a floater which appears past which the visual field as a spot or fibrous stands. What happens then? They cluster together, all the substances and floating in the vitreous region over here. They float over here. So that's the in the aged people, not in the normal condition. And this is known as a floaters actually. The floaters are generally harmless, but the sudden onset of recurring floaters may signify the posterior vitreous detachment, the PVD, or other diseases of that. Usually floaters is a common thing in old age conditions. But if you get a sudden onset of the floater, suddenly if you see something black spot or black flies moving on your eye, then you have to consult the ophthalmologist because that may lead to the foot detachment or any other disease. So this is that the see floaters over here is moving through the vitreous cells. Okay, thank you.